Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Nikki Taylor, and I am going to be showing you everything about the control panel within your Agent Studio website. I just want to take a minute, and can somebody who has joined do me a favor and just type in the chat box and let me know that you can hear me okay? Let me turn up my volume a little bit as well. Let me know that you can hear me and see the screen. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Carrie and Darwish. Thank you so much. All right, so today we're going to maneuver the control panel of your Agent Studio website. And we like to do these webinars occasionally because it does, even though we've expanded on the layout of the control panel and have added a few extra, tips along the way and created landing pages for each of the sections, it can save you a lot of time if you know exactly where things are and don't have to search. And it also makes you feel a little bit more comfortable when you're in the control panel looking around and searching for what to do where. So if you want to follow along, make sure that you're logged into the control panel. And if you are new, I did notice that we have some new members to the Agent Studio family that are on the webinar today or signed up. So if this is your first time logging in, I want to show you how to get to your control panel. And I am in my pages, which if you've been on one of my other webinars, you know that I have a ton of pages. So let me just jump out of that for a second so I can easily get to the bottom. Okay, once you are on your home page, you can, let me get rid of these pop-ups. If you go down and click on Control Panel, you will be asked to log in. And once you log in, you will see the same screen that I have showing right now. So on the home page, you can expect to have, just a few little tips. This is where they've been promoting or sharing the new features that were released back in April or May to the platform. So you can read about those there. I would think that that's probably going to change sometime in the near future, but it'll just have some tips or some additional information there for you. A lot of times when you sign up, you might sign up for a basic package, but along the way you will decide that it's more beneficial for you to upgrade. So where you see change subscription, that is where you would enter a promo code. And for anybody that was on a webinar last week, we've had a great response to the Cyber Monday promotion. So we are going to extend the promotion. So anybody that's on the webinar today, and I will mention this again at the end in case anybody joins us late, Cyber Monday is a promo code that will give you 30% off any upgrade that you make to your website. If you're upgrading to a different package or add-on, you will receive 30% off for the first 3 months of that subscription change. So all you need to do is enter the promo code, click continue. Then you have the option however you would like to pay. If you're paying monthly, you can click the monthly, whichever you choose. You can click continue. And then for me, it will, since I'm already on the Elite plan, it will show me the starter and the professional if I wanted to downgrade. But for anybody that is not on the Elite plan, you would see the Elite plan, the features, and the rate. And also, like if you're on the professional, you would see the starter. And you can see that it's already calculated with the discount. Okay, so that is how then you would just follow through and click continue, but I don't want to mess up my site, so I'm not going to continue through, but you would just continue clicking through to the end. I believe there's one more screen where you confirm or re-enter your credit card that you have on file with Agent Studio. If you want to just add on a feature, maybe you're on the professional and for some reason you don't want to upgrade, you just want to add on the cruise booking tool, or if you're on the starter and you want the itinerary builder, these would all be green for you. They're included in the Elite package, so that's why they're in blue, and I can't click to add them on. If you want to opt out of co-op marketing, you can opt out of that, and that's why this is green for me. But you can also utilize the Cyber Monday code for an add-on to one of the new features as well. Okay, the Marketing Center. If you click on Marketing Center, you will be brought to another login screen for the Marketing Center itself. That login will be the same login credentials that you use to log into your control panel. Okay, so in case for the new people, we're just going to give a quick walkthrough and just show you what the Marketing Center looks like. And when you come into the Marketing Center, you are shown your dashboard, which gives you some quick start tips. You can access helpful videos. You also, any new releases or updates to the system, whatever it changed, fixed, improved on, you'll be able to see a little note here on the right-hand side. And at the bottom, anything you have queued to go out will show your recently saved drafts as well as the last campaign performance. Okay, then if you click on contacts, this is where you will have the option to either add contacts one at a time, or you can import your contacts. And importing your contacts would be done by downloading the template, which I will show you what the template looks like. It's very basic, very easy to do. I've had a lot of people that have done this in the last few months, and they have all said how they haven't had any issues. It's all a seamless process and very easy. So give Excel a minute to catch up. If it decides it doesn't want to catch up, I will click out of this, but there we go. Across the top, this is the order your data fields need to be in order to import your contacts, and you can import up to 500 contacts at one time. Okay, so once you would have your data in here, you would just save it in a location that you remember, and either keep the same name or give it a different name. That's up to you. And then you would browse for the file and upload. Okay, and you also would have the option to either, if this is your first time uploading, you probably don't have any additional lists made, so you would want them to go into the master list. Okay, I'm going to cancel out of this. This is campaigns is where you would create a new campaign or email that you're going to send out to your clients. You can see there are ready to go themes for, we have 2 hotels and a tourism bureau that has created a theme that is ready to just be sent. You can click that theme and it's ready to go. Okay, you don't have to change anything. It automatically includes the latest promotions from either the hotel or the tourism bureau, and you can send that out and set that campaign up in a matter of minutes. Then if you want to do a little bit of customization, you can pick one of these campaigns and you can customize this as well by adding in some additional deals. Or if you don't really want to promote Charisma or La Collection, you can delete these and add some other promotions that are currently showing on our website. Okay, so the great thing about the Marketing Center is everything is integrated with your Agent Studio website. You also have analytics, which will tell you the results of your campaigns, how many people, and something happened with this one because it isn't showing opens, but there were a lot of people that did open it because a lot of them responded to me in regards to some of the promotions that I had in there. So not really sure what happened. Agent Studio was looking into this, but you can see here it's Yachting Not Cruising campaign tells you how many I sent, how many unique opens, how many click-throughs, how many bounced emails, and how many people out of almost 1,500 unsubscribed. So all in all, this was a very successful campaign. Normally, 2 to 3, 4% unique opens is a good attrition rate. So this one got 15%. So it was very successful. Okay, you also, in settings, this is where the weekend travel newsletter can be turned on or off. It's automatically turned on. So anybody you add to your Marketing Center every Thursday will receive the weekend travel newsletter. And if you want to opt out of the co-op marketing, you are able to do that here, and it will redirect you back into the control panel, because that is, you do have to pay to opt out of that. Those emails come once a week, if that, and it is based off of the suppliers that you have chosen in the setup of your website, and I'll show you those a little bit further down the control panel. Itinerary Builder, as most of you are probably aware, the Itinerary Builder is Travefy. So this is where you can create quotes and itineraries, and your clients can download the Travefy app, and you can communicate with them through the discussion tab. I'm currently working on, it's going to open up. I have, with Travefy, I've been using it for so long, I have customized the colors and themes, and I have the enterprise version of that. But I just wanted to go in and show you, this is the discussion section where it's basically like a text message. Once your client and you have the apps downloaded, they can communicate with you throughout their trip this way. And my clients love it. It's a huge plus for clients. Let me give you something. Let me share this with you. And you can see the communication back and forth. Okay, so, and this is an actual working itinerary. So within Travefy, you're able to add excursions, put in all their confirmations, their transfers. So this is basically a step-by-step guide that your clients will love to have. So hopefully, if you are on the professional version or the elite, that you are taking advantage of Travefy, because your clients will love you and you will love yourself for creating all of your quotes and itineraries in Travefy. I swear by it, wouldn't want to do travel without it. Let me see the next section in the control panel. By the way, if you have any questions, please go ahead throughout the webinar, type them in the chat box, and I will work them in as I go down through the control panel. Automated social media, when you click on that, it will bring up your back end for the automated social media, and what you can do within this this tool is mind-blowing. I mention this all the time, so if you've been on other webinars, you'll probably be tired of hearing it, but the implementation of this social media platform within our Agent Studio website has saved me about $50 odd a month, because it took me 5 different platforms to do and automate what I can automate within the automated social media tool that is now included in our Agent Studio website. You can, obviously this right here is where you can engage or monitor the engagement of your tweets or your posts over all of the social media platforms that you've been set up in this tool. You can show the conversation, you can reply, you can repost, retweet, do all of those things. Everything you can do within each individual platform, you can do within the Engage section. You can monitor keywords. I have Taylor & Company Travel, so every time my agency name is mentioned in a tweet or a post, I get a notification and I can look and see what it was. But you can monitor various keywords. You can search and, go to Facebook or Twitter, any of those, and search for particular or monitor particular words or phrases. Content, if you don't know what to post out over social media, the content section can give you, I just have a few keywords set up, and I can scroll down through here if I need something to post about, and maybe you can post about the NFL and post about your sports packages that you have available. It gives you ideas and content that you can use to share. The only thing I don't like about this content that shows up, it does not send your clients back to your website. Now, you can include your website as a link, but it isn't specifically linked to your website. Contacts, you can also maintain a list of contacts and mailing lists within the Agent automated social media platform. I'm still actually learning a little bit about that, and also about the reports. Before I do webinars on anything, I really like to make sure that I have, I've had all of my questions answered from the gurus that set up the automated social media platform. So I reach out to Sendable, and, I have still a few additional questions out to them. But you can manage your reports, set up a report. It's somewhat like in the Marketing Center, the analytics. You will receive the analytics to know what time you post that are receiving the most interaction, the most views. You can see what types of posts, like the content, if it's news stories or promotions, and then you can gauge and adjust your social media marketing based on what the analytical reports are telling you about your social media posts. So it's very helpful. It allows you to maximize your social media marketing efforts. And services. So if I go to my services, you will see that there are, obviously I have 84 services set up, but that does not mean that I have 84 different social media accounts. It means that there are other types of accounts that you can set up. So if we go here and add a service, you can see all the different categories. You can also set up different monitoring brands and keywords as services. And most of my services come from the Instagram, which you can monitor or follow and auto like images that have or contain a certain hashtag. So I have a lot of those set up for personal and for business. So that's the majority of what my services consist of. One good thing that a lot of people like is that you can also post to Pinterest through this platform. Before, there are very few that would include Pinterest. Now, the automated social media feature has that capability. If there is if you've searched on your website under the destination search content, you know that some of those destinations have videos. You can get the links and share them to your YouTube channel. So there's a lot of different, you can easily create Facebook cover photos. So there's a lot of different services that are available. If you have a blog that you aren't using within the Elite platform of your Agent Studio website, like I have a WordPress blog and I have maintained it because it was the first website I ever created, and I don't want to get rid of that website. So, but I can post directly to it through the automated social media. So I do share the news stories and the promotions out through my blog as well. And then, of course, we have the social, which is all of the social media accounts. Okay. And the last thing about automated social media is you can, of course, compose posts from in here. So any of the services that you add or activate, you can select, they will show up as a service when you want to create a post. Okay. So I have my personal and my business twice in here because I use this to set up during an automated social media webinar. So I do need to delete those. But if they don't show up in here, if you set up your Facebook and it isn't showing here, then you've chosen the wrong type of Facebook account, because not all of them are quote unquote posting accounts. And then you type whatever you want here, whether it's going out to your website and going to the Discover. I have a page I'm working on, so it's still showing. Let me see. Is this being recorded? Yes. So, thank you, Ray, for asking. This is being recorded automatically. Now, the only difference between this platform and the Webinar Ninja, well, there's two things. One, this platform works and Webinar Ninja didn't. And you will, in the follow-up email that gets sent out, you will receive a link to the Agent Studio YouTube channel. And that is where within 24 hours, you will be able to click that link and review the previous day's webinar. So Agent Studio has promised me that they will get those up within 24 hours. So that will be available. Let me just double check. Lisa says, can you set up an appointment to have someone help with the initial launch of your webinar? Do you mean to set up? Yeah, right. With this website, since it's maneuvering through the control panel, yeah, I do move quickly through the control panel features. So yes, you definitely will be able to go back and review. Lisa, you can either watch some of the webinars on how to get it set up, or you can email support and they will walk you through any of the criteria that is needed in order to set up the initial setup of your website. But honestly, once we go through some of this, it probably will answer a lot of your questions. One thing I do when I like to show is you can come into any of the pages on your website, grab the URL, and then go back into the automated social media. It will give you the same image and give you a short description. You can then add your own little, phrase or a little bit about whatever it is, the promotion, the destination, and then you can send it out or schedule it to be sent out at a later time. So hence automating your social media a little bit further, Agent Studio does post to your Facebook and Twitter accounts 3 to 4 times a day. So you definitely, if you don't have any time to do anything else, you definitely want to come in and set up your Facebook and Twitter profiles, because even if you don't have time right now to think about social media marketing, they will be doing it for you. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. Okay, and that can only happen if you've set up your Facebook and Twitter accounts. And again, you go to services, and if you wanted to add your Facebook, you click add. To add your business page, it would be set up as a fan page. You would set that option up. If you don't have a business page, as some of us don't, you use your personal Facebook account, you would set up Facebook post. That's the account you would set up to have it post to your Facebook wall. I have both, so I have set up both accounts in the automated social media. There are also individual webinars about each section of or main aspect of your control panel, meaning the Marketing Center has its own webinar. I do a webinar, an intermediate and a basic on automated social media. I also do a webinar on the hotel and cruise booking tools and how I utilize those tools for different things besides just bookings, and to give you a glimpse of what the cruise booking tool looks like. If you don't have it currently, and this is constantly being updated as the cruise lines add different itineraries, or as they sell out, they get removed. So this is in real time, and you can, let's just pick something to give you a quick little demo of what the cruise booking tool does. We'll narrow this down a little bit. You see, as we continue to add some criteria to the filters, it continues to whittle down the available itineraries. Okay, once you do that, then you have the available itineraries that meet that criteria. So it said for each of these is counted, the different dates is counted as one itinerary. So there's really only 2 different cruises, but 4 different dates that meet the criteria. And if you click book now, and one of the reasons why I use the cruise booking tool as a sales qualifier, and I send out some criteria based on what my client is looking for. I send them out the link and the criteria so that they can whittle down from 15,000 itineraries to 3 or 4 that they would be interested in, and then I can give them some feedback, because it's so much easier to give them some feedback on 3 or 4 itineraries as opposed to 15,000 or even 20, 10. So I definitely use this as a qualifier. I also use the information at the bottom is amazing. And I love how the bottom of the cruise booking tool for that itinerary gives you all the information about the cruise ship. And this is where I pull all of the information from for my cruise itineraries that I create in Travefy. Even though Travefy is integrated with all of the cruise lines and it easily pulls up the itinerary, it basically gives you a blank slate to add details to each day or to each port where you're going to be. So I pull that information from here for 95, 97% of it I get from right within the cruise booking tool. You can see it has all of the options that your client can go through and look, especially first-time cruisers that don't really know what they want. It's a super good place for them to go because they can access almost all the different cruise lines right in one place, as opposed to going out to each individual cruise line website. Okay, and it's very interactive. They might come away with questions for you, but you will easily be able to probably use the this bottom section to answer almost all their questions. Okay, sailing dates. It gives you the policies that we all know. We like to put all of these different policies in our itineraries or quotes when we're sending them out. So this gives you all the information right here. No searching through like Costa's website to find what you want. And I also pull all of my images from here as well. Okay, it gives you a wide variety of images, and it's an easy place to go to, and it saves you a ton of time. Okay, so that's what the cruise booking tool looks like. I love it. I also, when I get to the back end of the cruise booking tool, you will be able to see firsthand how helpful the cruise booking booking manager is, as opposed to having to reach out to the cruise lines for additional information about the booking that you made. Okay, so now we're going to enter into where you're actually setting up and do some of the maintenance for your website. So the first section is Billing Center, and that's pretty self-explanatory. But when we click on Billing Center, you will see it as this is where you have your credit card information stored, your address. And if I click on Billing Center, this is one of the new landing pages. So any of these menus that you click on, you will see a landing page such as this. And it will give you a little, one or two sentences about what each option can do or what you can do within each of those options. Okay, and you also can click from here and it will take you right to that section as well. So it's interactive, and it just provides you another shortcut to get to the different areas of the control panel. We had already gone over the add or remove, add-ons, the payment history. If you are with a host or have your website through a host utilizing their code, you would have to reach out to them for your billing information. But if you're paying directly through Agent Studio, everybody will have this. It will give you just a little bit of information about your next billing date. And they always give you a buffer of a few days in case, your card changes, it gets compromised. I know every few months I'm unfortunately always getting a new card because it's been compromised online. So there's a little bit of a buffer in there. So if you forget, I know myself, it's hard to remember everything that you have set up on auto pay. So that gives you time to receive the email about having some issues with the card. The subscription, it will give you, to me, this is like nonsense information. Not really sure why it's included. It just gives you the breakdown of what all makes up the $69.95. If you care to look at that, you would be able to see that. And again, change your subscription is the same as up here in the control panel. So there's a couple ways that you can reach that option. That would be everything that's in the Billing Center. Whoops, I meant to click the next one. Going down to the next section is Site Configuration. And this is where you basically set up some of the logistics of your website. I think it was Lisa. If this might answer some of the questions that you have. So the site information, if you click Manage Site Info, this is where you would put your website name. If you have a slogan, mine isn't even updated because it's changed, as you can see from my homepage. You also can hide any of the information. This is where this setup is where the information is pulled for your email campaigns. So down at the bottom in the footer where it would have information, my address is on there. I don't mind it being on there, but if you don't want it on there, you can hide your address and then it will show up the Agent Studio corporate address. Home-based agents sometimes don't want to have their home address shown. I do take appointments if somebody's in the area. I do take appointments at my house, or we go to a local, Starbucks or someplace like that. But you do have that option if you want to hide it. Also here, lead management. This is where you would set up. This mostly should be checked. You, the agency owner, will want to manage your own leads. But if you have a bigger agency and you have multiple people working with you as either employees or ICs, one of them might be responsible for monitoring all the leads that come in through the website. And this is where you can put in their information. So they would receive the email to when there's a new lead, as opposed to it coming to you and the email address that you use to set up your website. You can also, these are, optional. You can add in your ARC, IATA, True, those numbers, okay? Once you make any changes to this, make sure you do click save because it won't save it without. Destinations. This is a list. I have everything checked. There isn't really any place that I wouldn't sell. Now, do I know, on one of my webinars, somebody said, well, how do you know, are you versed in every one of these locations? A fair amount of them, yes. I've done a lot of 90-day tours. I just had a group of ladies finish a 90-day trip where, they obviously went to multiple destinations. Could I give you a ton of information off the top of my head about every one of these? Not a lot, no. However, there is not one place in here that I would not work with or would not sell a trip to. Okay, so that's kind of what you need to look at, because if any of these, if there's some place you don't absolutely refuse to sell to, maybe you don't want to sell to Albania, then the easiest way is to select them all and then go back through and just uncheck those handful of places. Maybe you don't want to sell Europe, then you can just uncheck Europe. And then later on, if you decide you do want to sell Europe, you can come in here, check Europe, and then click select all, and then uncheck what you don't want. Okay, so promotions based on the destinations you select here and the suppliers that you select in the next section that I'm going to show you. That is what promotions and co-op emails are based on, that would go out to your clients. Okay, so suppliers. Suppliers is a little different because we all have our suppliers that we like to work with. I have a handful that I won't work with, so I have unchecked them. And you can, the only reason why I have American Queen Steamboat Company unchecked is because that seems to be, they do a lot of co-op emails, and a lot of the other preferred suppliers that I have don't do them. So I just didn't want my clients only receiving emails from them, co-op emails from them. But I love the people at American Steamboat. They're great. But again, you can go through here, check those that you want to work with, and those will be the promotions and things that will show up on your website and in the co-op emails. Don't forget, always hit save when you're done. Co-branded partnerships, which reminds me, it's been a while since I've discussed or gone over this in a webinar, so I need to, I can add this as possibly one of the new webinars for December. Now, what this is, if I scroll up, once you add some links to this, you click your Book Now button, you will see the links have been added. Okay, and to add a new booking link, all you do is click add new booking link. It's super easy. You give it a name, the URL for where you want to direct that click to, and upload an image to it. And that is all there is to it. Let me go back. So any of these, like I have a white labeled website with Project Expedition. So you notice it led them right back to my website, but anytime they book, I get credit for the booking because it's through my white label with Project Expedition. Viking Cruises, as I'm sure all of you are aware, you can set up white labeled websites with Viking and Sandals, and there's a lot of different suppliers. AM Resorts, you're also able to create direct booking links. I do some affiliate marketing. I also have a few new ones that I need to add. I also don't really like the layout. These are a little bit too small, but I had to real quick one day do some updates and make this page really neat and tidy. So I had to just go in and make them all the smaller size, super quick. But you can come down through and you can see this is all the links that you have set up, and you can click it, and that's a very bad image as when it's blown up big, but when it's small, as you saw here, it looks fine. So, but anyway, it brings it up and you can change any of the information. So any suppliers that you have their white labeled links set up, you can add it to the book now. It's just another place to add links for booking. Manage site domain. If you have your own specific URL, this is where you would set it up. It's super easy. You'll see the little tip in the middle gives you some pointers, and these will be throughout the control panel to give you some tips as you go through. Let's see, I have a couple questions. Whoops. Push that over a little too far. Carrie asks, how do you get the Book Now link at the top of the page? So once you add a link, once you go into add co-branded partnerships and add one, it will show up. So once you add it, it will be there for you to see. And let's see. The Ray asks, can I explain the white listing or white labels? So basically what they are any of the, a lot of different suppliers do them. They basically create a copy of their website with your branding. So if we go into Project Expedition there are a few different types. Project Expedition, I have them linked right into my website. Okay, so you can also be an affiliate with Project Expedition where you will receive an affiliate ID and a link if you don't want it like this already integrated into your website, where it will take you out to another website away from your personal website like Viking. So Viking isn't actually integrated. Now I could iframe in the Viking website, but when I click Viking, this is basically this is the exact same website that they have, except all of the contact information, it points to me. And it has Taylor & Company Travel. Okay, so this is the exact same website that Viking uses. And that's another type of white labeling or white listing. Sandals does the same thing. There are a lot of, actually let me go back to the top. Classic Vacations has a really interesting option. It's co-branded. It gives you pre and post. You can, your clients can book right here, of course. And it gives you a lot of different options, which I really like a lot. I really like their if I click in one of these, I can, view all the details. It's just a really nice user-friendly tool that your clients, can receive additional information, and you're not the one that's recreating all of this. I wish every one of the suppliers would have this information. Or I should say setup, not information. I should say the setup. So that we can send our clients there and they can book direct. So basically, in a nutshell, it is direct links with suppliers where you get credit for the bookings that take place if your link is clicked. Another question from Ray, do you just contact them for the link? Yes, so with Project Expedition, and if you don't utilize them, I strongly suggest you do. They are super great to work with. Their customer service is impeccable. If your client wants a particular tour and you don't see it, if you reach out to them, if you have enough time, they will work to add it or add something that is very similar. And you get paid 10% through Project Expedition, unlike Viator where you get paid 5%. Viator is terrible to cancel, change, rebook. It's awful to deal with. I have horror stories about them. Although I do still have an account with them, but my experience has been, for the most part, terrible. And that reflects on us as an agent. So I was very happy to find Project Expedition. So yes, reach out to Project Expedition. For sandals, once you log into your sandals account, you will see co-branded site. The same thing with Viking. And what else do I have in there? AM Resorts is a little bit different. AM Resorts does not give agents a sub-account to book under, where Sandals does. So if you add the AM Resorts and you're part of the host, all of those bookings are going back to your host. And there isn't any way currently to decipher which agency those bookings came from. So you just want to watch those. Now, I'm not hosted, so that's why I have those links on my website, because I know that they're going to come back to me. Nobody else is going to get credit for them. So yeah, look at each of when you log into the agent portals for each of the suppliers. And if you don't see anything, co-branded link, co-branded websites, white labels, anything like that, reach out to the supplier and ask them about it. And they'll let you know if they have one or not. Change my password is pretty self-explanatory. If you need to update or change your agency password, you can do that here. And site users is where if you have multiple people in your agency that have different responsibilities, you can add them here and change their passwords. That way, certain people will have access to certain aspects of your website. Okay, moving right along. Let me see. So Ray booked with them today. That's wonderful. Yeah, just reach out and ask about the white label, because I like being able to share those links out over social media, because somebody's looking for that. That's how I've booked like 6 Viking cruises in the past 3 months, 2.5 months. And they all have come from me posting the link to directly book on my Viking white label site out over social media. So they're definitely worth having and worth taking the time to reach out. And if they don't have it, ask them if they're getting one. I have a villa company that I'm working with that I can't wait to get their inventory on my website, because that's the only way to easily be able to market for some of the companies. Okay, so the next section is probably where you will spend most of your time. I'm going to come back to this section because I want to get through just a couple of the items at the bottom that aren't going to take up that much time, but I will definitely be coming back to the site customization. Between that section and pages, this is where all the magic happens to make your website look the way it does. So site pages, of course, will show you all of the pages that you currently have set up on your website, and I have a ton. So if you're ever afraid that you will run out and, you know, be shut off, reach your limit, there is no limit, okay, to the pages. Like mine go on forever. That's a lot. So definitely wanted to show you that there is no limit. Create a new page. You just click create new page and you are good to go. Now you can see under Discover, I was working on a page prior to the webinar and I need to hide that page because I don't want it showing up. And manage the top navigation. So if you, you can change, in Elite, you can change everything. Customize the navigational names at the top. If you're in the professional version or starter, you can hide some of these tabs, but you can't change the name. So if it says cruise, it's going to have to be cruise. If you want to add to it, you will have to add subpages like this underneath it. Okay. Here's a side tip. I'm going to scroll down through here and hide that page. And this will show you, give you a little tip into how to do that. It's really easy. These little icons are how you hide and show different pages on your website. Okay, so this South America destination page is going to be linked to one of my other subpages, so no need for it to be shown. Under Social Media Manager, this is where you want to, on your homepage, mine aren't shown here. Mine are at the bottom, but when you go to a homepage and have all the icons up here, that's where they come from. That's where the links, how the links are pulled into your social media accounts. It's by setting all of these up. Whoops, cancel. And if you want, instead, sometimes there are posts that don't have images. So if you want there to be a preview image, you can upload whatever image you want to be used when there isn't an image from the post that you're sharing. Okay, and the next one, SEO and Google Analytics. We just did the first in a while SEO webinar last week. We will be doing more of those throughout the coming months. And Google Analytics, you also want to make sure you have this set up so that you can see how many unique visitors you have, what traffic you're getting to your website, and where the traffic is from. These are step-by-step instructions that make it really easy for you to follow and set up your website with Google Analytics. And you can set up tags, scripts, and I just actually deleted mine because I wanted to change everything up. So you can save those in here as well. You can add custom tags. Okay, so that is for the SEO piece of it. If you have the Elite option, you have a blog tool where you can create blog categories. Now I have imported my, you can import your WordPress blog into the blog that's included with your website. If you have a blog and want to get rid of it and you utilize the blog tool that comes with your Agent Studio website, you can import them and then just post from the blog that's integrated with the website. Blog posts, back when I did this was back in February, but if you click create new blog post, you can see this looks, I mean, this screen here is exactly like your create a page screen for your website, and it also resembles the WordPress. Okay, source code, you can, if you have the HTML code, you can paste that in the back. or you can use this screen, which shows you what the page or the post will look like as you're building it out. The category, if you've had categories, you pick what category it's going to go to, the date you want it to post, and the title, and go ahead and save it, and it will post to the blog on your Agent Studio website. And comments, you can also import those from your blog from WordPress as well, and any comments will show up here in this section. Okay. Also, the CRM tool, which is also only in the Elite plan. This is where your leads will go if you are on, let's go to a Discover page, find a cruise, just to show you where these show up. Where you see Get a Quote. Okay, they're scattered throughout your website automatically. Someone comes into your website and clicks on Get a Quote, fills out the information. You will receive an email, as well as it will show up in your leads. Okay, so you can click leads and they'll show up here as new. Okay, I always leave a couple in here. I probably should update this and leave some of the newer ones in here, but that's where they will go. You also can upload contacts into here, and they will show up in the Marketing Center automatically. So this could be your main source for contacts and have them automatically show up in the Marketing Center. And you can also, again, import contacts into this mini CRM. There is talk in the future of expanding the CRM capabilities that we have in here. So that will be something good. That's one of the few things that I have that I use outside of Agent Studio. The Booking Engine Manager, this is for the hotel booking tool that comes included with the website, as well as the cruise booking manager. You can look up your commission history from in here, and it will give you a list of everything that you've booked. It gives you numbers to call should you have any questions about a booking. You can pull up bookings from within. Oh, I'm in the commission history report. Sorry, not this one. You also, even if you're with a host, you have access to the commission reporting so that you can see when your host has received payment for your bookings. So if you're missing something, you can do a reconciliation and reach out to your host and ask where your money is. Hopefully you don't have to do that too often, but my experience when I was with a host, more times than not, I was reaching out asking where my commissions were. It's a brutal, brutal cycle, I must say. It's the worst part of travel, I think. I wish there was one centrally located company that handled all the commissions. The cruise booking manager. So this is, I want to step through. I know we're almost out of time, but I can definitely stay on for a little while longer, and hopefully you can too. But if you can't, the rest of the webinar will be, obviously recorded, and it will be showing with the replay on the YouTube channel. Now, why is this taking so long? Okay, well, it looks like this is taking a minute to, there it goes. Now, this is what the back end of the cruise booking tool looks like. You can, when you pull up, I haven't made any bookings in the last week through this, so nothing is automatically showing at the bottom. But you can run reports from here. If you join in one of the hotel and cruise booking tool webinars, I show, all of the entire back end of this. We go into detail on all of the features, and it's super nice to be able to do pretty much everything, manage every aspect of managing a hotel or a cruise booking from within the booking tool. The cruise manager is phenomenal. I rarely have to make a phone call to one of the cruise lines, which I hate to do because I'm always on hold for a lengthy period of time. Before I jump back to customization, Agent Studio Academy is where you will find future courses. I'm just waiting on getting the approval of the courses for the rest of December, and those will be added in here as well. So you can come in here and show that, hey, I'm interested, and you'll automatically receive the email to register. The Help Center. This is new and improved. So if you're just, some people go through spurts where they're just now getting back into working their travel business, and this might have been the old school way. You can submit a support ticket here. You click this and put in some information. This is also where if you wanted to request assistance, you can put in a support ticket. Word of advice, putting in a support ticket puts your question, even if it doesn't require support, it just requires an answer. It puts it in the support team's queue, and you will receive an answer more quickly than if you send a direct email to support@agentstudio.com. So when I have issues, no matter what it is, I always put in a support ticket because, one, you have a tracking of it, and two, it will get answered more quickly. The Agent Studio Help Center is very interactive now. So you can click on features, you can search. If I wanted to search SEO and find out what articles and information is in the database, I can click one of the options, and then this news article will also give me additional items along the left-hand side that I can go and read as well until my answer is, or my question or my issue was answered. And also, please provide the feedback. I know a lot of people just don't care to do that. If it is worthy and it did help, click yes. Even more so, if it isn't helpful, click no and explain why. That way, it will give the support team some insight on what that is lacking or what it's missing. So please feel free to, and I encourage you to take the time to fill in your feedback on that. Okay, now back to site customization. This section is where you really set up the preferences. And even if you're going to customize your website, you still have to pick a theme. So by clicking here and selecting the theme, you can scroll down through. I'm not doing this. The last time I did, it totally made my website revert back to the platform, and it took a few minutes, well, probably closer to an hour, for it to actually go back to normal. So please go in and click on, these different options. If you are customizing your site completely like I have, pick the first one and just go, because you're going to override and overwrite everything that's included in that template anyway. So it doesn't matter. Don't waste your time searching through them. But you can click, if I click this, it will show me different layouts. This is one example of the home page. This is an interior page, what it would look like, and another page. So it gives you the options of what the different pages would look like. So you can select a different theme and then click the theme you chose to see what they'll look like. But you also can take that and obviously change the colors and everything. And that is where customized look and feel comes into play. You can come in here. Now mine's mostly, let me go to Taylor and CLMP, one of the demo sites, because playing in the customization is where people like to see how it works. So I don't like to play as much. I've learned the hard way of playing in mine when it comes to changing like the customization. So let me go, whoops, wrong one. So here now I can come in here and click a different theme. Okay, so once you click that, then you'll be able to see like the different options. A lot of the interior pages are somewhat the same. So it's just a matter of how the navigation and everything is laid out. Some of those are different. So if I wanted to apply this theme, I could click Save Theme and it's going to change it. And when I go to Customize Look and Feel, now you'll notice it didn't change to the yellow color. It did put this line up at the top, but it didn't change to the yellow color of the template. And that's because I had already gone in and made changes to the colors that are in here. So if you want to come in and change this, you can either type in the code. Let's see, make it dark. You can slide this around. You might even want to change the palette to be a pinkish color, whatever. This is how you would move around and change the colors. Now, what I do, if you have it set up and you kind of like what you have, but you want to explore, take a screenshot of this. That way you know what needs to be input into each of these fields to make the changes back to where it was before you started playing. Yes, I will show you where to find the previous webinars at the end of the webinar. Okay, so it also is broken down into sections. So this is the header. So anything that is changed in the header would be applied. You can see now that it changed the name, the font for that. And if you want to change the font, you can either leave it be what the theme default is, or I can come in here and change it out, whichever you prefer. So, okay. And you can come in here and make all these changes. And if you don't like it, don't save it. And then it won't, see, once I clicked homepage, it went back to the default because I didn't save it. So you're never at a loss. Like, you can always change that back. Now, you can also upload a background image, or you can use, if you want to use something that, here, for instance, you can see all these little mini lines that's there. Maybe I want that to be in the background. I clicked away, so they went away. Now, down at the bottom, it shows you the footer. So if I wanted to make this a little lighter, maybe I want to click here. It will change. You see the words are changing in color as I move this around. If I wanted to make it green, you know, it'll change. And you can see what looks good, what doesn't look good. And that way you'll know if you want to let it that way. And then the main content, this would be the content throughout, you know, the website and the internal pages. And again, you can change it, make it different colors. You know, that way you can gauge and see how you want it to look. And obviously preview means this is the preview of the page, what we have selected so far. If we like it, let's save it. And I can save it and show you because this is just a demo. So now we have these horrid lines that make me kind of go cross-eyed when I look at them. But if you like that and it fits with the theme of your homepage, maybe it gives it a little bit of flair. Okay. You can see the red that we implemented, the pink that we changed up here. If you don't like it, then all you have to do is go back in and change it again. Okay, so maybe we don't want this to be red anymore. We want this to go back to something else. Maybe a bluish purple. Okay, and this pink doesn't look that great, so change that back to a purple. you know, or a navy or whatever. So you can, that's how easy it is to customize the different colors and things on your website. Okay, and again, the easiest way to become familiar with your website is to come in here and play. You can, as you can see, you can change everything around. It's not going to be stuck that way. And the same thing goes for pages, which is the only other section that I didn't really go into a lot, which we do have webinars for create, and I think I'm actually doing one this week, I think maybe Thursday. That's the webinar where you can create site pages. But you want to come in here and play around with the different pages. These are some that I've just created. Can come in here and play, and you can hide them like I showed you. This was iframe, so there isn't much to show with this one. Let's see, I can show you. Here's a wine tasting one. So this is a page that we took an itinerary that I created in Travefy, and we turned that into a web page. So it's a great idea to do that if you are promoting a group cruise, or you just, you know, I get special rates. I have super great rates I just started working really closely with a few of the resorts in Belize. So I'm going to be creating, you know, some itineraries or just some subpages and promoting those resorts that I'm now working with, because the rates I get blow everything else out of the water that on any of the online booking tools. So I definitely want to promote them. And you might have a super great deal with a cruise line as well, or you've blocked space, so you want to promote that. Perfect way to easily do that is to use Travefy and create the detailed itinerary and turn it into a web page. So that actually finishes up the control panel. And as Ray said, I move pretty quickly through everything because, as you can see, we're already like 15 minutes over time, which I don't mind, but I know we all are busy agents and it's hard for us sometimes to take an hour away and not be interrupted. So I do like to keep the time close to an hour, but occasionally, like today, the control panel really takes a little bit more than an hour to go through. But that was a quick run through of where you can find everything that's included in the control panel and how to maneuver your way around the different sections. I would like to thank everyone for coming. And again, if you joined us late, we are running a promotion for anybody that joins a webinar. We had such great response with this last week. So we've extended the Cyber Monday promotion, and the code is Cyber Monday, and it gives you 30% off the first 3 months of an add-on or an upgrade. So if you're on starter and you want to upgrade to professional or elite, you can get 30% off of that upgrade for the first 3 months. Okay, so make sure you take advantage of that, because that is 30% off is one of the best promotions that I've been using Agent Studio for about 4 years now, and I've never seen, unless it's with a host or something like that, that's something totally different. I have never seen 30% off. It's normally 10 to 20, or possibly like a month free of an add-on, but 30% off is a great deal. So make sure you're taking advantage of that and give some of the features a try that you don't currently have. And I hope to see all of you on another one of my webinars. Again, in the next day or so, the webinars for the rest of December will be added, and you can see, go in and sign up for all those courses as well. Does anybody else have any questions before we go for today? Let me just jump back up here. I think, oh, I'm glad I did. Lisa had the question on the recordings. So after, you will get a email that will give you the link to the Agent Studio YouTube channel, but I want to go ahead and show you where you find the current. It will link directly to this, but I want to show you as well. So once, if we search Agent Studio and come in, jump to their page, this automatically start up, and go to videos. So all the videos that I have done will have this little new home screen on it. And of course, you can also look at the dates as well. But every webinar from this point forward will be on the YouTube channel, so you will automatically have access to it. And if you've registered and signed up for the webinar, you will get that email, that reminder thanking you for coming. Or also, if you know somebody that signed up, they will and wasn't able to attend for whatever reason, they'll also get a "We Missed You" email. It will direct them to this page directly. They'll just have to look at the date to and the name to see which is the webinar that they missed. All right, so with that, I would like to thank everyone for coming, and hopefully I will see you on another webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Agent Studio via a support ticket. Let me see. Let's see. So I have a couple more questions. Carrie asked, is my Travefy part of the subscription, or do I have it linked to my AS site? So there is, Travefy is linked. The professional version of Travefy, which is the same version that's included in the itinerary builder, I just wanted mine to be customized to my brand, so to speak, meaning the colors that show up. That is the only difference. So yes, it's integrated, and it you have access, if you're in the professional or elite plans, you have access to the itinerary builder built right into Agent Studio, and that's how you can easily create the website pages out of itineraries. Let's see, is that for air travel, cyber.monday? Cynthia, I'm not exactly sure what your question is, but the code Cyber Monday, all one word, is to receive 30% off of an add-on that you don't currently have on your website, which would be the itinerary builder, automated social media, the cruise booking tool. It could also be, if you're on a starter, it could be, or the free platform, it could be the URL, customized URL. Anything that isn't included in the plan that you're on is included as an add-on for that code, or you can use it to upgrade your plan completely. And Jerry said, thanks, I joined late, but I kind of get the process from what I've seen. We'll be sure to check out the YouTube channel. Great. Yes, the entire webinar will be up on the YouTube channel, and I know I go pretty fast through this to try to fit it all in with this webinar. So please feel free to go back and go through any of the sections that you might be unsure of. And I will see you all on another webinar, hopefully this week or in the coming weeks in December. Have a great rest of your evening. Thank you.